Hi everyone, today I'll show you how to sanitize your hamster sand. First, you'll need to sift through the sand. I lost my big sieve, so I'm using a small one, but I recommend getting a larger sieve to be able to do it faster. Make sure to remove all the poop and the bigger pieces. Some small stuff may fall through the sieve, but it will float later, so don't worry about it. How often you will need to sanitize the sand will depend on your hamster. You can wash it every month, but if your hamster pees in it, you will need to wash it at least every 2 weeks. Of course, you should regularly remove the parts of the sand that have been soiled by your hamster and store them in a container with a lid to avoid bad smell. Once all the stuff is removed, you need to pour some water in. You can see that all the stuff the sieve couldn't catch is rising to the surface. Next, you'll need to add some vinegar. For a batch of this size, you can add 3 to 4 spoons of vinegar. Mix the sand thoroughly so that the vinegar can get everywhere. After you've finished mixing, leave it for about 15 minutes to let the vinegar do its thing. Now that 15 minutes have passed, we are ready to wash the sand. Pouring directly into the sink is not good for your drains, as some of the sand can get in there. To prevent that, I like to put an old piece of cloth over the sinkhole. You can see that as I'm pouring, water is passing through it and all the dirty stuff stays on the cloth. Okay, so that's the first wash. As you can see, there's stuff along the edges here. I don't want that to get in again, so I'll just use some toilet paper to wipe the edges here and pick up all that stuff. Now we need to wash it a few more times. You put water in again, stir, 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 and pour it out. Stirring helps all the things that are stuck and the dirt that is stuck in the bottom layers to come to the surface. It is very good to do this when you first get your sand, because sometimes sand will have a bit of dust inside or impurities. Sifting before washing is also important when you buy new sand. You just want to prevent any weird or sharp stuff from getting in there, and you want to keep it clean because you have no idea where the sand has been and you'd want to clean it. And I have an ant. Yeah, I cannot get rid of them, so sorry if you see some walking by. I'm used to them by now. So now that we've washed the sand, we can go ahead and get a tray, wrap it in aluminum foil, and then proceed to empty the sand into the tray. Just imagine you're making a cake or something. Now you want to spread everything. Now you want to spread everything evenly. Just to make it a thin layer so that it will dry faster. You don't want to wash too much sand at once because if the layer is too thick, it will take a long time to dry everything. Okay, so this cake looks pretty good and now it's ready to be baked. Set your oven to about 200 degrees and bake the sand for 30 minutes. After 30 minutes have passed, check the sand. It might look dry on the surface, but it could be wet underneath, so stir it a bit to see if it's completely dry. If it is still a bit wet, bake it for a while longer. Once the sand is done baking, let it cool down to room temperature first, and then use it in your hamster's cage. Be careful. Sand takes a long time to cool down, and even if it feels cool on the surface, it still might be hot inside. If you find this video useful, please like and subscribe.